It's April, and it's spring where I am. The weather is beautiful, the flowers are blooming, but we all have to stay indoors, self-isolate. Speaking of which, a lot of us on the team have been sick lately. I'm getting over a suspicious cough I've had for the last month, but everyone is doing fine, but that's kind of taken some steam out of us lately. However, we're also partway through Titanic week, and we're not going to be silent the whole time. Here's an update, and then tomorrow we have a little bit of a video from the real-time syncing coming out, and then of course we are going to do our usual live stream with a guest host. More info on that coming soon. Unfortunately, a lot of physical commemorations of the 108th Titanic anniversary have been canceled, but people all over the place are finding ways to commemorate it virtually. I've got a few updates for you, but to bring everyone up to speed and make sure we're all on the same page, I'm going to give a very quick status about where the game currently stands, as opposed to the usual videos where we just say, here's an update, here's an update, here's an update. Well, this is where it currently stands right now. The goal of the project is to recreate the Titanic inside and out 100%. We're currently around 80% finished, give or take 1 or 2%. Most of the public spaces for first, second, and third class have been finished. Most of the crew spaces are finished. A lot of the things that remain are cabins and machinery spaces. Also the veranda and palm court. We've been putting that off quite a bit. We have significant headway on the boiler rooms, but only recently did we actually start on the engines. The triple expansion reciprocating engines. Those have been put off long enough. Those are technical. Those are possibly the most complicated parts of the ship. Well, they are underway as well, and they are looking phenomenal. We also have the steering gear under the poop deck in progress, and various other machines throughout the bottom of the ship.
So, an update for interior spaces and research. We did a lot of second class areas. You can see here a second class cabin on Olympic. Now, a huge section was done on streaming on YouTube, and this is an area which is going to be completed over the course of filling out section after section after section. You can see all these cabins copy each other. We're going to give videos out soon, hopefully, that show how components are made in the modeling programs, and then how they're going to be used into Maya and then transformed into Unreal. Kyle doesn't know that yet, but he's going to be a part of that. You can see them here on the Titanic Honor and Glory channel, and then we'll go in a little bit more in depth into the videos of second class cabins in the Titanic University channel. So here you can see a little bit how components work in SketchUp, and then if you go to Titanic University later, you can perhaps see how those bunks were utilized to be turned into actual berths and not just settees or couches, how the wardrobes functioned, who were in these cabins in second class, which part of second class they were in. Now, there are a lot of these areas on Titanic, and it seems like they're taking forever to do, but they have to be done correctly, obviously. And we learned a lot of information while doing Britannic. The Britannic specification guide became quite helpful, a bunch of new plans. On the research side, like I mentioned, I was working hand in hand with Nico Murgia to finally figure out most of Titanic's carpeting and linoleum patterns. For the longest time, we have been guessing, yes, indeed, kind of an educated guess on the carpet patterns for Titanic's cabins. We finally have a good understanding of what her carpeting patterns were, and the logic behind Harlan Wolff were for each of the first class generic cabins, and of course the linoleum, and you can check that out eventually on Titanic University.
The story is still the same. You are Owen Robert Morgan, an American Oxford University student who is framed for both robbery and a major assassination attempt on a high-ranked British official. You're arrested and interrogated, and in the interrogation you find out that the actual criminals, the ones framing you, are trying to escape England on board the Titanic. So you must escape, find your way through Southampton, find a way to get aboard the ship. Once aboard the ship, you'll have to make allies with real-life passengers and crew who may or may not help you along the way in finding those who are truly responsible for this crime. The game currently consists of 18 individual levels, although we might actually end up restructuring that to have less of a level approach and more of a organic, mission, open world kind of feel. That's where we're actually leaning. We just haven't so much adopted the script to that format just yet. Currently, we're planning to have around 220 historically accurate, identifiable characters. However, we're partnered up with a couple studios. Some of them are saying, well, why not go for broke and do all 2,200? So we might actually increase that 220 number to at least a little bit more. We've partnered up with a AAA art house called 5518, who are making artwork assets, especially character models for us. This studio has made character models for Call of Duty, Apex Legends, and many other games you might recognize. We've also got a studio out in California that I've been working with on a daily basis. With them on their projects are also a AAA level studio who have agreed that once this is financially funded, they would be our actual line producers of this project. We would be working with them, but they would be making the game. So that is where they come in. And out of respect for them, because there's no formal contracts, there's just some really good friendships right now, a lot of handshakes, some stuff that has been signed. Out of respect for them, I'm holding their name. As for funding, we've partnered up with a firm in Florida, and these guys go around and professionally find funding for projects like this. They develop a business strategy, they do market analyses, and they put together all these reports, and then they go out into the field and they find people to bring in the investments. Of course, they take their cut out of that. We have partnered up with them, and we have started up that process as of just the last couple of weeks, which is one of the things that has kept us busy. So once this virus passes, we're getting ready that they can go out into the field and hit investors hard. You're getting tired of waiting. I'm getting tired of waiting. I want to see this move. You guys want to see this move. And that is the attitude of everyone on the team. It's like, come on, we got to get this moving. If we were going to ditch the project, we would have done it by now. I know there's people out there who are thinking, this isn't going to happen. Trust us. We're not making money off of this project. All we're doing is just passionately trying to see this through to the end. The game is supposed to be 100% historically accurate. That includes the environments, the characters, and the storyline. Everything that you do, even though you play as a fictional character, the game is supposed to be 100% factual. Now, we do have a few NPCs so far. We have 3 right now that are finished, which I am ready to show off. We have Chief Telegraph Operator John Phillips, or Jack, whichever you prefer. He was the wireless operator, the chief wireless operator, who was sending out the distress calls that night. His model was made by 5518. Phillips was the first NPC we had made, and he really has a bit of a baby face. We didn't realize that until we actually started modeling him. But the style of these characters really come out in Murdoch, in my opinion. First Officer William Murdoch. Like Phillips, he did not survive the sinking, and they both heroically worked until the very end trying to save lives. Murdoch is fully finished, his uniform is authentic, everything about him is right. And then finally, one thing that we did which was really exciting was we did a live stream a few months back, and during that we had committed all super chat money coming in through YouTube to go towards the funding of stewardess Violet Jessup. And we raised something around $1,100 that night, and that went towards Violet Jessup. Well, here she is finished. And by the way, this is the first ever authentic recreation of a Titanic stewardess uniform. Now, Violet is the perfect segue into the next thing I want to talk about, the HMHS Britannic, the third of the Olympic-class liners, Titanic's younger sister ship. Coming soon, and I mean really soon, Britannic, patroness of the Mediterranean. That is our virtual Britannic experience. It'll be available in both standard and VR, and we are working to get it on Mac as well. It'll be released through Steam, that's all set up. The goal is, as soon as Titanic Week is over, we'll be putting the first trailer out there, as well as actual in-game screenshots. In this, you'll be able to explore the Britannic, inside and out, not the full ship. We don't have time to do the full ship, unfortunately. We don't have the manpower to do that either. This is being paid for out of our own pockets. It's been a passion project. There's been so much we've done in the past with the Britannic, researching it, and making these animations and videos, that it's only been a short step in order to put it into an experience. Now, we've brought on additional crew members who are not quite ready to work on the Titanic project, but they are happy to work on another project, and we've put them on Britannic. so that their labor is going to that while our labor is still mostly going to the Titanic, although we have all had quite a hand in Britannic. So like I said, you'll be able to explore the ship inside and out as both a hospital and the ocean liner she was intended to be. You'll be able to explore the decks as hospital ship Britannic, but you'll also be able to explore various insides of both ships. We might add updates later so that you can explore additional spots, but there's quite a bit in there. In terms of contents of spaces you'll be able to explore, it's somewhere along the lines of the amount of space as Demo 3, but it's Britannic. These have never been seen before. These spaces have only been speculated before, but we've been working with our historians, we've been digging deep into archives, we've been going over the Admiralty report, we've been going over the inquiry, we've been going over the plans, we've been going over archives, we've been finding every last thing that we could find to rebuild Britannic both as she was meant to be and as she actually was in 1915 and 1916. And of course, relive the sinking. You'll be able to walk around the ship as it goes down. Now, the original intention was to have just taken our 2016 real-time animation, put it into the game again, let you step aboard it. But we found a ton of additional research which has allowed us to overhaul that. So what you're going to be playing is really going to be something exciting. A lot of the research has yielded results that no one, including people on the historian team, have imagined. So putting this together has been an exceptional experience. And we were just talking about this a couple of days ago, but making these Britannic spaces has taught us a ton about the Titanic and made us realize, okay, well now we got to overhaul different parts of Titanic. Now we see, okay, this is what they were going for. We got that wrong on the Titanic. Let's fix that. So actually, the time devoted that we did put into Britannic personally has yielded so much in the Titanic front that is now going to allow us to make that even more accurate. A couple of updates on the storefronts. Zeno is still working on the models. He recently moved, so he had a little bit of a distraction, but he's all settled in now, and of course he's spending a lot of time home like everybody is. So he's working on those models, and here's a few words from him.
This is the brand new resin printed Titanic, so you can see it's much more smoother. So it's like comparing a let's say a DVD and a Blu-ray. So this is the equivalent of a Blu-ray. And here we have our brand new Lusitania, the Wilhelm Gustloff, and a batch that is nearly done. We're just missing the white paint on these ones over there. These ones are all set. Just need to put the mast, put in the box, and ship. I hope to deliver all the ships as soon as possible, but don't worry if you know, we're painting, we're working. I know it takes a while. We're quite back ordered. They take a while to make. I hand paint every one of them, and the last few weeks have been harder because with the coronavirus, the schools are closed and our daughter is at home. So my wife has not been able to paint as she would have been if this crisis wasn't happening. So I hope she can resume her work soon. But meanwhile, I'm all hands on deck here, and we're working as hard as we can to ship them out. So I hope that this update can give some clarity to those that are waiting.
As most of you are aware, we also contributed to the design and development of the 1/200 scale trumpeter kit. If you see a box of it, you'll see our names on the front and our logo because we actually reviewed it for historical authenticity and sent them back gigabytes worth of references and changes and recommendations, and they integrated a good chunk of them. So anyway, we are selling those on our website. You can go to www.titanichg.com/store. Because shipping such a box overseas is quite a hassle, we're currently only shipping to the lower 48 states of the United States. However, we are looking to see if we can find a distributor in Europe who we can partner up with. Another thing, just for fun, I can't go too much into it, there's NDAs involved, but as you're aware, we've been licensing out footage of our CGI to documentaries and films and other various projects. Well, we had a pretty unique one lately. Instead of just licensing out the footage, we were asked to shoot the entire video. So we did a proof of concept. The larger project might be coming later, but I've done filmmaking in the past, and I've made a lot of videos. So we shot this in a studio, a warehouse in Philadelphia, and we had a green screen, and we had some professional actors, and it was just a lot of fun. It was an all-day thing. It was just before the city shut down for the virus. We were shooting with high-tech equipment. We had the red, and we had all the sweet hookups, as Napoleon Dynamite would say. There's a Napoleon Dynamite lunchbox right there. That's why I made that reference. By the way, the outfit for Violet Jessup in the video was based off of the costume design for Titanic Honor and Glory stewardesses. So this is probably the first physical recreation of Titanic stewardess uniforms that are accurate, and that was really cool. The actress who wore it, she was very excited to hear that, and she actually showed it off in some of the behind the scenes. So we had a lot of fun doing it. We had a lot of fun prepping for it, and again, it is just a proof of concept, but maybe we'll be doing a bigger one. Maybe we'll be able to say a few more words about that when the time comes. Maybe not. So that's what's going on. I got to keep this short. I got to cut it off here if I want to save my voice for that live stream in the next couple of days. But tune in April 14th at night. We're thinking sometime around 9:30 p.m. And as always, it'll go until about 1 or 2 at night. We're going to try to get a guest host. We're talking to a couple of people. Right now, I think we're narrowing it down to 1. It's all about availability. So tune in. It'll be here on YouTube. And as always, thanks for the support. It's a light Titanic week. We're all feeling low on steam with our health, and of course, one of the biggest things which has been on our minds is it's always hard to top the previous Titanic week. It's okay to just take a light one. It's the 108th, you know, for the 110th, for the 109th even, maybe we'll do something big. But it's okay to just take a light one every couple of years or so, and I think we all need it. Stay safe, stay healthy, keep your masks on, and stay tuned. Take care.